What happens when entitlement meets a drive-thru full of fed-up locals? In the heart of Florida, a simple burger run turns into a viral showdown between a luxury SUV and a community that's had enough. This isn't just another Karen moment, it's a story of dignity, justice, and a sheriff with zero patience for nonsense. Buckle up. You're about to witness fast food served with a side of karma. In Clearwater, Florida, golden sunlight settled over the town like warm syrup, coating fast food signs and glinting off windshields. At the corner of Alton and Fifth sat Megabyte Burgers, a community staple where kids celebrated report cards, workers grabbed late dinners, and teens flirted over waffle fries. The line for the drive-thru stretched well into the street that night, filled with tired parents, blue-collar workers, and sleepy kids. Jessica Blane sat in her black Escalade, the air conditioner humming, her sunglasses on even though the sun had nearly dipped behind the palms. To her, patience was weakness. And lines. Those were for people with nothing better to do. She had lived her entire life a certain way, unapologetically dominant, dressed in power, driving power, speaking in commands. Her HOA board feared her. Her neighbors avoided her. And in every room she entered, she made sure everyone knew who was in control. That night, she wasn't about to sit behind minivans and pickups. She needed a grilled chicken salad, and she needed it now, without warning. Jessica jerked the wheel and forced her Escalade between two waiting cars, nearly colliding with a Hyundai, where a young mother clutched her toddler with wide eyes. Horns blared, drivers shouted, but Jessica stayed calm. She was used to the sound of resistance. Inside the restaurant, 17-year-old Dante Ruiz noticed the sudden shift on the camera feeds. His headset crackled as the voices outside grew louder. With a smirk, he leaned into the mic and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our newest line-cutting guest of honor in the Black Escalade." Laughter erupted through the lot. A man, 2 cars back, began filming, narrating in a dramatic whisper. Here we witness the rare Florida Karen asserting her territory at the watering hole. Jessica rolled down her window, furious, and screamed at the speaker. But Dante wasn't fazed. "Ma'am," he said cheerfully, "around here, we queue like civilized people." Jessica's nostrils flared. She inched forward, forcing a compact car dangerously close to the drive-thru wall. The woman inside mouthed, "Are you serious inside? Mr. Delgado," the night manager and fast food war veteran of 26 years, picked up his headset. "Attention all," he said with dry humor. "In honor of our rule-defying royalty, we will now serve every car twice before hers." Applause followed. Horns honked in unity. For once, the weary community wasn't powerless. But Jessica wasn't done. She threw the SUV into reverse, almost crashing into the vehicle behind her, a sheriff's patrol car that had quietly joined the line just minutes earlier. Deputy Rob Carson had been on shift since 6 a.m. He was 39, running mostly on caffeine and spite, and had come for a bacon double and 10 minutes of peace. Instead, he watched as Jessica's Escalade jolted back and nearly slammed into his cruiser. He stepped out with practiced calm, hands resting on his duty belt. Jessica locked the doors. He knocked once. Silence. Then the window cracked 2 inches. "I didn't do anything wrong," she snapped. Rob tilted his head. "You forced your car into an active lane, nearly hit 3 vehicles, and disrupted a public service line. That's at least 3 traffic violations." "I just wanted to order my meal," she barked. "They were being rude to me from the speaker," Dante's voice chimed in. "Yeah, you tried to flatten a Civic, super chill, phones were everywhere now. 2 drivers were live streaming. Hashtags like #Escalade, Karen and Drive-Thru Justice were already buzzing locally." "License and registration," Rob said. Jessica hesitated, then slammed the documents into his hand. Her name glared in gold foil on a monogrammed card. He read it, smirked, and muttered, "Well, Jessica, this combo meal's about to cost more than you expected." Her defiance began to slip. Rob recited the list: reckless driving, obstruction, disregard for public safety, attempted bypass of a regulated queue, disobeying a lawful order. "You can't tow me," she barked. "I can, and I will." He radioed for a tow. Jessica turned pale. "This is abuse of power," Rob sighed. "No, ma'am. This is what power actually looks like used with restraint, until someone makes that impossible." The tow truck rolled in 10 minutes later. Jessica refused to exit her car. Rob opened the door gently, gave her a choice to step out voluntarily. She did, jaw clenched, her designer heels clacking on the pavement as she tried to walk with dignity. A dad rolled down his window and called out, "Want us to order your combo while they tow your entitlement?" Laughter erupted again. Mr. Delgado leaned out the pickup window. Free fries for everyone who waited in line like decent human beings. Cheers spread. For the first time in a long while, the community felt united. Jessica watched as her Escalade was pulled onto the flatbed. The glow from the megabyte sign cast long shadows across the lot. Stretching behind her like a story that had already been written, one she could no longer control. She walked away alone, her dinner forgotten, her image shattered. In the days that followed, clips from the incident went viral. Local news ran a story titled, "Justice at the Drive-Thru." Jessica's HOA board quietly removed her from her self-appointed position, citing reputation damage. Rumors of other entitled stunts surfaced, stories from neighbors who'd stayed silent for years. Dante got a bonus and a promotion. Mr. Delgado had the full police report framed next to the milkshake machine. Rob's sheriff's office received thank-you notes from residents. But what struck people most wasn't the punishment. It was the moment when the community stood together, not with violence, not with anger, but with patience, laughter, and collective refusal to be bullied. Jessica had underestimated them. She thought the drive-thru line was filled with nobodies. But it was filled with teachers, single moms, veterans, janitors, teenagers, people who followed rules not because they had to, but because respect mattered. That night, Clearwater remembered its voice. And somewhere across town, Jessica sat alone, scrolling through her phone, watching the footage, her face red, her hands trembling, her power, for once, powerless. And the rest of the town, they just wanted their fries.